see these white pieces?
Yeah.
Silver pieces?
Yeah.
Well, I had to fit them, get them exactly where they gotta be.
Yeah.
And bolt that in first.
Okay.
Then, next thing I go to this, make sure that everything is free. I mount it up, I go to shift, and of course this is wound up cable instead of being solid. Bent. So now I'm back to another one here.
Okay.
But it's different, eh? This has a, you can see here, has a solid wire.
Yeah.
Well, that won't bend. But this is the last one I got.
Okay.
And just the cable is $186.
Okay, so Dad's just showing me here how you can go through an hour just like nothing. But I've been here a couple hours. He's been on this dash shifter for all that time. And
now that I got everything fixed up here, what I'm gonna do is sand this, mask it, and paint it before I put shit in, because there's too many holes. Eh?
yeah.
I gotta weld these shut.
Okay. Dad got all the gauges in from the customer here. Customer wanted to supply their own gauges, so.
One is not going in.
Oh, which one? That's looks
Oil
like
pressure,
oil pressure.
That's going in.
Yeah.
Water temperature is going in. Amp gauge is going in, but I'm not putting a transmission.
Okay, why not?
There's no place to put it in there.
Oh.
I'm not drilling into the transmission.
Oh, okay.
And another thing is to keep the door open and watch the temperature on the engine.
Yeah.
The transmission is not going to heat unless the engine temperature gets over 190 to 220 or something.
Okay, so the only way to install this one.
Let it idle and cool off.
Okay, so the only way to do this is to drill into the transmission.
Well, or into the pan or something.
Yeah.
And I can't get in there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that's just another set of wires to go through.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no end to it.
So that's what Dad's been working on here all morning and afternoon, and he's going to do some masking and painting there.
Sanding.
And sanding first.
And then I bought hinges today because, as you can see, this is rotted right out.
Wow.
So I got to put a patch on there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sand this. Block the. You see the doors.
Yeah.
Move.
Yeah.
So I want a quarter or eighth of an inch of space underneath.
Okay.
On all of them.
So Dad took the doors off yesterday, and holy shit, are these things heavy and rotten. So if you notice, they had that padding on there before, so this is the first time that Dad took off the padding, and everything's rotten behind there, so he's got to do some reskinning and fixing.
And then every time they welded on here, you know, to reskin the door,
yeah,
they went thicker and thicker and thicker. These doors weigh 3 times as
Yeah.
much as what they're supposed to be.
So-
Put too heavy iron.
this one's really heavy, but the one over here
Is twice as heavy.
is twice as heavy as that one. And I can move that, but it's, you can see just how rotten it is behind that that padding that was on there.
They welded all in here.
So all that's got to be removed
I'll-
and taken off
I'll
and
clean it up.
cleaned up. That's not a job for the guy that's doing body putting and painting. Yeah, I guess technically he could do it, but we got to actually have these doors fitted correctly back in here, and then Dad also has to put the new hinges back into place here as well. So it all takes time, like Dad says.
These hinges are going in.
Yeah,
They're greased.
yeah,
And then I'm going to weld these holes shut.
yeah.
So when the body man does come, he can fill over here.
Okay. So
Right
yeah,
over here.
there's lots of work. Dad will probably spend a couple days on these doors, and then we got to get them all fitted into place. A couple bombardiers ago, we showed you guys how to get your doors to get back into place. So we were grinding them and shimming them, and we're likely going to have to do that to here on this one as well. So Dad's going to have a quick coffee break here. We're waiting on the machine shop to give us a call on the rotor, and apparently it's done, but they said they'd call us first for the pickup. And then yeah, there's no shortage of work here for Dad.
Yeah. That's what his door hinge should look like.
Oh yeah, great.
So I'm sure that the body man doesn't want to see stuff
No,
like that.
no.
So I'm gonna put weld on hinges.
So
And
it's,
the worst comes to worst, you can lift the door right off.
yeah. And that's what those grease type hinges do, guys. They weld, like you can pick them right up off the door. So yeah, that's what Dad's doing today. Busy, busy, busy. Just started snowing outside, pretty heavy. Dogs are pretty happy. Cats inside. So no extra dogs here today, and that's what Dad's up to.
Decals too, eh?
Okay.
Like that one is okay, but I can't mask over it and salvage it. We'll redecal all the
Yeah.
all
So
the plugs and
yeah,
lights.
looks like Dad's taking out the ignition there with all the new wiring. So by the extra decals, he's meaning this stuff here. So might be able to pull it off with a finger, probably the scraper, but there's a bunch of other ones here that we got to get. And so there's some work to be done here.
The guy that made the cable buggered up. I haven't got enough travel here to go to park. Oh, something. Before it gets where it's supposed to be.
So there's always something here. Dad likes to say it's never easy, and something that looks like the simplest of tasks can take all day, and something that looks like it might take weeks, sometimes you accomplish it in an afternoon.
And you guys really got to watch. You break one of those ears off, that locks the cable in, then you really got to.
And so this is this style here, this dash shifter that Dad's use, and he swears by them. And they come out of like camper vans from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, but they really work well.
But you can't buy the original cable anymore. You have to make them.
So,
That's the problem.
and you can't just throw any old cable in there. That's got to be the right cable, 'cause that's the one you need for the job.
Right travel.
Yeah.